Oh, the train is coming, beep. Yeah.
It's like Lethal fucking Weapon.
Yes, right. Well, okay.
Steel guitar in this movie.
Drop Zone is like the last action film of that era, it feels like to me, because it's using the same soundtrack and it's like the same ridiculous, out of control plot that makes no sense. Where it's
I
like
just remembered I kept notes on my phone, but I didn't put it on the computer.
Oh no,
that's all right. I haven't pulled up.
That's fine. You got him.
I got him. It's just
you got him. Hold on, let me get the.
Well, let's do the intro while you're doing that.
Yeah, let's hit it.
All right.
That's right.
Welcome to Hollywood is Dead in Phoenix West.
Dig it over here now in the Drop Zone.
I do want to state that I have officially replaced the stupid sequel titles with what we're actually discussing in these. So this is Drop Zone versus Money Plane.
Yeah, Money Train.
Money Train. Sorry, not Money Plane.
No, Money Plane has nothing to do
Grouch, with the second.
I am the fucking Money Train. Oh wait, Robert Blake is the predecessor to Kelsey Grammer in the Money Plane. Money Train.
We watched this together. For the most part, I had to leave at some point to put my baby down. That's not
put her down.
That's not a Nancy Sinatra thing. I'm not killing my woman. I had to put my literal baby to sleep
because she had to go.
We discussed it, and most of our discussion was about Robert Blake.
Yes,
and which was Money Train because that's what we watched together. We really didn't discuss Drop Zone.
No, we watched that I think on separate days.
We did. I think Drop Zone.
I watched it back to back.
I'll do my little history here with the two movies, and then you can follow.
Yeah, please.
Drop Zone,
yeah.
I've seen both these movies a lot. Drop Zone, I've seen 40 times, 30. I'll just be conservative. 30.
Wow.
It was one of those HBO movies that came out. I was 10. It was a speed Drop Zone.
Oh yeah,
Demolition Man that came out the year before, but
same year though. Speed and Drop Zone, same year.
Yes,
94.
But it was
94.
That period where I was renting movies over and over, like because I got sick of like Ghostbusters, like I had to move on to something else.
Right.
But I remember renting this over and over, and then eventually my mom was like, "Fuck that, but just buy it. I'm spending too much on rental fees." So she brought me Speed and she brought me Drop Zone and
there you go on
a bunch of other things. She's like, it's just cheaper this way. Like it keeps them from talking to us, which is my parents' ultimate goal. And which is ironic now because all they do is talk about movies and TV shows.
So they failed miserably in their endeavor.
They did, but I don't talk to them, so I guess that's a success in their eyes.
So I guess it worked out. Everybody wins.
Yeah, they don't have to hear this shit.
So I want to tell you, okay,
avoid it.
So Drop Zone. It came out in 94. Money Train came out in 95. Listen to this lineup of films from 1994. These are just action movies. Clear and Present Danger.
Terminal Velocity.
Speed. Leon. Jackie Chan's Drunken Master. Drop Zone. No Escape.
I put a list on my phone.
The Crow. Specialist. Street Fighter. The Movie. Blown Away. Surviving the Game. Stargate, The Getaway, Time Cop, Death Wish 5, Terminal Velocity, River Wild, The Shadow, On Deadly Ground, Natural Born Killers, Star Trek Generations, Double Dragon, Next Karate Kid, Tarzan, Legend of Greystoke, Wyatt Earp, A Low Down Dirty Shame, Maverick, Men of War, Three Ninjas something.
Hold on, what's Men of War?
It's a Dolph Lundgren
movie.
Okay,
that's why I don't know it.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
I don't like for some reason I don't like Adam loved these movies. I don't care for them. The Golem Globus act. I don't like the canon action movies that much.
They're pretty bad. They're not good.
None of them stick in my memory though. I could watch we watched some together and I'm like gone.
Well, they're all interchangeable because they're all the same movies. Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah,
1994.
I love Beverly Hills Cop 3. That's one we should definitely discuss. There's just the third one.
Yeah, it's just the third one.
Because it is its own entity upon the trilogy.
It definitely is. It's like that cancerous growth on the
Wonder World, happiness is king.
And I just watched the movies that made us. So they talk about Coming to America. I guess John Landis and Eddie Murphy had a falling out after that movie.
Yeah.
But then literally like 5 years later, Eddie Murphy's like, "Hey, I want you to direct Beverly Hills Cop 3." And he goes, "What?" John Landis was like, "Huh? I thought you didn't like me." No, it's like, no, I want you to make this movie with me. And it's hilarious.
Eddie Murphy's one of those guys that will change, like grow and not tell you.
Exactly.
So I can see that.
Yeah.
He really does. People make fun of him, but he really does seem like a guy that's more aware than you think he is.
I think so, yeah. I like Eddie Murphy a lot. I think he's a genius.
Yeah,
he is a genius. He is
even his bad movies. I still find enjoyment.
Yeah,
he's along for the ride.
He's a movie star. He's charming. Every movie he's in, he's like the best part. He's got that Denzel Washington factor.
Yeah,
where it's like every movie he makes, he's him in it, but he's great. Like Robert Downey Jr. too. Same thing.
He's
got
great.
That factor. You know, they got that star charm and star factor, and it's really good. You gotta see Dolomite, and you know who else is in Dolomite? Wesley Snipes, who's amazing.
He plays the director of.
He is amazing,
of the movies, right?
Oh no, he's a director. He's
I saw
hilarious.
His scenes.
Yeah, he's great.
I saw just his scenes, and I'm like, God damn, he's good.
Wesley Snipes.
This really is our Wesley Snipes night.
Wesley Snipes is, I think, vastly underrated. Underrated. I love Wesley Snipes. I grew up with Wesley Snipes. I think like people always talk about representation. I consider Wesley Snipes one of my go-to like action heroes.
I would say out of the 5 biggest ones in the late 80s, early 90s, which you got Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Snipes, and unfortunately, for some reason on this list is Steven Seagal. But really, they made the most movies in that period, and Snipes is my favorite.
Yeah,
in that period,
he's up there. Oh,
I mean, Stallone's my favorite overall, just because of the actual drama and directing. Right. But Snipes is my favorite to watch on the screen. I even named my fucking self after his character of his.
Demolition Man.
Simon Phoenix. Yeah. That's legit the only reason my name is Phoenix.
Yeah. And he's a legit martial artist. The guy can do his own fight. I mean, Blade, he's unbelievable. The Blade trilogy, he's amazing.
Even though he's a total asshole behind the scenes.
Well, for the last Blade, yes. Not for the other 2 Blades.
No, even the first one, he's like refused to do some certain scenes, and they had to put someone else in there.
Oh, I think he was maybe because he was tired. He was producing it too.
I'm not saying there's not reasons, but it's kind of like a Bill Murray versus Chevy Chase. It depends on your personality, how big of an asshole you can get away with being.
Right, exactly.
Chevy Chase, I would punch him in the fucking face the second he said something to me. But Bill Murray, I'd be like, "Oh, I don't care what you say, Bill." Like it depends on your personality. And Wesley Snipes, okay, well, I'll shoot around it. I'll figure out a way.
Don't fucking talk to me. I won't.
What if Will Smith said the same thing to me? I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself."
You. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go put your wife's dick in your mouth. Shut up.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
Just a different personalities. If Jamie Foxx said the same thing to me, I'd be like, "All right, Jamie, we'll work around that. Like, I'll find a way. You're a nice guy. You're charming. Okay.
I like you."
Yeah.
No, but Wesley Snipes, and these are 2.
You yet, Jamie?
And these are 2. Let's not forget though. These are 2 really big bombs. Drop Zone and Money Train were failures at the box office. I mean, abysmal failures. Not even breaking even. Not even getting half of the budget back worldwide failures. I think these movies must have done well on video
and HBO.
And HBO and cable, absolutely, because that's the only way.
Because the reason I watched Drop Zone 30, 40 times was because of HBO or Cinemax or whoever bought it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Same thing as Money Train. The second that came out on HBO or Cinemax or Showtime, or where the fuck it was, I didn't watch it as much as Drop Zone because, to spoiler our Versus episode, Drop Zone's way fucking better and more entertaining.
Money Train is a weird movie.
It is,
because I feel like it was
paced all wrong.
It's 3 different scripts in one movie.
Yes,
and they didn't know what it wanted to be. Like, is it an action movie? they have this, and I got two movies confused because I always thought Michael Wincott was in this movie. He's in Metro. He's the bad guy in Metro, the Eddie Murphy movie about the subway cops.
You know what's weird?
And in this one, it's Chris Cooper.
In Metro, 1996.
Yeah.
That movie has Eddie Murphy's with the dreadlocks. Or like whatever you call that. He looks the best Eddie Murphy's ever looked in that movie.
I think cornrows. He had cornrows, didn't he?
Yeah, sorry. Whatever it was. He has, like, damn, Eddie Murphy looks good in that movie. I remember when it came out. And then, but the problem is they're showing it now on like HBO or Cinemax all the time. And I'm like,
are they really?
Why now?
Well, they got a lot of time. The movie's
27 years old.
Well, shit, it's better than seeing Showtime or Pluto Nash. Those movies suck. The Metro is somewhat, maybe it's the Michael Rappaport factor in Metro.
Michael Rappaport is kind of taking over stuff.
He's kind of like, I guess his time. He is. I hate Michael Rappaport on every level.
He is a draining individual.
I hate Michael Rappaport. He's annoying as fuck. I hate him. Can't stand him. And whatever. But we're talking about Wesley Snipes in Drop Zone. And so Drop Zone, I saw it, I think, on video. That's where I rented it. Yeah. And I think I saw it on HBO here and there. But Money Train and Drop Zone were both rentals. I didn't see them multiple times on video. I did not see multiple times on HBO. I didn't really notice them. But I did watch them when they first came out on video. Like Money Train, I haven't seen since then.
Drop
Zone, I haven't seen Money Train in 27 years. Sorry, that's all.
No, I didn't want to interrupt. But I would just real quick. Drop Zone was a movie that when I first started doing Lloyd in Wonderland, back on August 2nd, 2014, I convinced all my friends to watch it for episode 35 of that show, of the first show we've ever done.
Oh my god. Wow.
And I was like being vulnerable because I'm like, I love this movie, but I want to tell them. And I'm like, I'm prepared to rip this movie apart. Here we go.
Yeah.
We watched it, movie. And everyone on the show liked it.
Oh, it's fun. It's a fun movie.
It's not a great movie, but it is fun.
No, it's fun. It's fun.
That's all you want out of a 90s action movie.
Because it is preposterous on every level.
Yes.
It really is. And
it's stupid. It's a stupid movie.
It's the dumbest movie I've seen. Like I texted you. I said, this is the dumbest movie I've seen in a long time.
But goddamn it, I'll watch it again right now if we started it.
I would put it on. It's funny. Derek said, opens up again. Drop Zone is like Money Train. It's three different scripts in one movie. It opens up with Michael Jeter in prison feeding cats. And then he gets attacked by a Mexican murderer. He takes, he's a terrible assassin.
He's stabbing from here.
Because it's a big, long, he gets it from a boombox score.
He might as well say, like, I'm sorry, I'm about to shiv you. And the guards stop him.
I think he does say that. Yeah, the guards come get him. And then they basically have to call Malcolm Jamal Warner and Wesley Snipes, who are both brothers, not street brothers. They're brothers.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you think the guy didn't want to shiv him because he didn't want AIDS bullet all over him? That's a real question because he died
absolutely
7 years after this.
Well, he was in Green Mile, and that was it. I think that was the last
98
last big movie he did, and he died
4 years after this. But I think he died within a year or two.
Green Mile was 99, though. It was released in 99, so I guess they probably made it in 98.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense. But Michael Jeter is this again. I still don't know exactly what it was he did because they don't really explain it.
This is my first time watching this as an adult.
Okay,
because when I first started the show a decade ago, honestly, I was, we're watching with a bunch of friends. I wasn't really paying attention. This is my first time sitting down as an adult and going, that's what this movie's about. Because when you're 9 or 10, you don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But so Michael Jeter was doing a bunch of hacking is essentially what it was back in the earliest days of the internet. He was doing what he does for Gary Busey that you see later. That's why they break him out of prison.
Well, he is, but he steals money from the cartels, right?
Yeah, he was a bunch of shady shit. He was stealing money.
He was going to testify.
His ego he could have gotten away forever, but his ego got the best of him, and that's why they said they caught him.
But that's also why he's going to testify.
That's why they're trying to stab him in the opening, and the worst scene ever.
Which, if he's a witness to the persecution to be testifying against drug cartels, why would he be in general population? Wouldn't that be the first problem? Like, he has to be in his own cell, and we have to have him be 500 miles away from any prison with prisoners in it, because he's a fucking star witness to a giant case that you need to get through. Like, it's like Godfather 2. They didn't put that guy in fucking population. He was in an army barracks.
Yeah.
And then fucking Rob Duvall told him to kill himself. Yeah. He's dead. He's Michael Jeter. You keep trying to kill me.
The man has no defensive mechanisms other than sympathy. I mean, that might have saved him there in the opening scene.
Other than AIDS blood.
He's just AIDS blood and sympathy. Because the killer's like, he's crowning. He's got balding crown. Okay.
Fuck, by the way, did his cats?
I love Evening Shade. I won't kill the guy. Shit.
Oh, let's not talk about Evening Shade.
I watched the shit out of Evening Shade, by the way.
You and Evening Shade, yeah. Well, Derek Jeter. So Derek Jeter. Yes, we have. Derek Jeter is getting. He's being escorted.
Yes. Can I interrupt one time?
Please.
This is the reason I love Cable Guy so much. What I'm describing right now is because all I could do as a child was watch TV and shut the fuck up. And that's why I love Cable Guy so much, because that's his backstory, which was you watch TV, you get the fuck out of my life. And that was my life.
Wow.
So I associate with that movie because we talked about doing Cable Guy versus Death Smoochie.
Yes.
I think I'm cutting Cable Guy because I don't know if you want to talk about that movie, but
yeah, Death Smoochie's enough.
Yeah, we'll just do Death Smoochie next week.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
But I'm so sorry. Continue what you were saying there.
No, just getting through the plot.
So Drop Zone, they're going to escort Michael Jamal Warner is escorting
Theo Huxtable.
Michael Jeter with Wesley Snipes, and they're in a 747 with 35,000 feet in the air, whatever. And
there's a nightmare at 30,000 feet.
That was the Twilight episode. I get it.
It wasn't about a podcast. Fucking stupid. The original one much better. That version is that's my
20,000 feet.
That's my 20,000 feet. But I love the fact that the guys that are taking part in this hijacking are so racist, because Wesley Snipes gets up to go to the bathroom or go. I forgot what Wesley Snipes was doing. He gets up because he's not there with Jeter. He's sitting across from Michael Jamal Warner, and he goes to the bathroom or something. And the hijackers shoot the black guy sitting in the other seat next to Michael Jamal Warner, but that's not the cop; it's some random black guy, poor bastard. And they shoot up Michael Jamal Warner, who goes out as a hero, which I was glad to see. I forgot about that. He saves the little girl's life.
He gets blamed for the entire thing.
Exactly, but he is a hero at the end of the movie. But it doesn't matter, because Drop Zone, like I said, is 3 different movies in one. The hijack part of the movie is over, so no one gives a shit. After that part, Michael Jamal Warner is dead. Wesley Snipes never talks about him ever again. Like, the whole point of his mission is to find the killers.
Yes. Everyone else talks about Theo Huxtable, Michael Jamal Warner,
he does not.
He does not.
He never
his partner was killed up there. He's like, I want to find the killer. He talks to his supervisor who plays a cop or DA agent
in every
thousand fucking things.
Yeah.
Who's like, that's nonsense. Like, it's
I like how nobody
loose cannon. I'm like,
I like how nobody believes them that there was hijackers, where there's witnesses on the fucking airplane that saw people jump out with parachutes.
Third fucking note is, you're telling me none of the people saw guns that we clearly saw them see.
They shot people on the plane.
They shot people. You see them go, oh my God,
there's an innocent black guy that got shot. He's dead. What happened to him? Oh, that's shrapnel from the wing blowing up. That's Jamal Warner. Theo Huxtable shot him before he went out the window.
You haven't seen The Matrix because it's 5 years from now, but he shot bullets and they went whoop and
makes no sense. Like again, dumb. This is a dumb movie.
The
So
suggestion that his in command officer says is Malcolm Jamal Warner shot his gun so willy nilly, a 6-shooter. Keep in mind, that he shot the door open on the plane and it sucked out passengers.
And it's behind him.
People.
It's behind him. The door's behind him. He doesn't have the magic bullet that killed Kennedy.
That's why I was doing the whoop.
Yeah. The wanted gun.
Yeah, he's got the
bullet swing from Wanted.
He can curve bullets. He's hold on. Wesley Snipes. Have you ever seen the movie hasn't come out for another 5 years also, but have you seen Magneto in the comic books?
Shoot this motherfucker!
I'm thinking that Theo Huxtable is some sort of Magneto creature that can curve the bullets and shoot innocent people.
And poor Theo Huxtable is in this movie for like 12.
Even though the bullets don't fucking match.
He's in this movie for maybe 8 minutes. Like that's it, and he's gone.
That's true.
Sucked out of an airplane.
What I just said is something I just realized for the first time. They're shooting blocks.
Yeah.
The Malcolm Jamal Warner's gun is not the same fucking gun, not the same caliber.
No.
None of the bullet patterns would match.
No.
But they're so ready to pin this on him because he's black, I guess.
I don't know why. There's no reason.
The reason why is because he's black.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It's 1994. That's why they're doing it. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest here. We gave you OJ. Wasn't that enough?
To save that little girl who Wesley Snipes scares the shit out of later.
I love that scene because he knows.
He knows
what's happening. No, I'm not done yet. Was it him? Ah!
The little girl goes. The little girl's almost sucked out of the plane. Malcolm Jamal Warner sees her. She pulls the mask off one of the hijackers and sees a scar. He's like, ah! And flies out. But then Wesley Snipes interviews her later. And he's like,
yes.
Can you describe the guy? And she goes, and Wesley Snipes pulls off his shades and goes, he had a scar. Is this the man? He has like a glossy 8x10. He's like, she freaks the fuck out in her own mind.
And I love it.
You can see her turn inward, like her mouth becomes an asshole. Like, and she's like, oh, and her mom's like, we're done here. What are you doing? Dick is frozen. We have a frozen dick here. Hold on. Let me try something here. All right. We still got a frozen dick. That's all right. I can go on money. No, I'm not. Drop zone for fucking ever. So he scars a little girl to get information. Meanwhile, they show we've already seen who exactly the huge hijackers are. Dick just sent me that his computer crashed. I can stall with with drop zone. Let me know when back. Okay, so meanwhile, I'm in the big camera now. Anyway, so he's scarring this little girl trying to find out information. Meanwhile, we've already seen who's ever. I'm starting the sentence over. We've already seen who hijacks the plane, which is like Nick Cage, Gary Busey, this guy, that guy, the other guy, and a girl. So I'm watching this last night, and I've already seen this movie 30 times, keep in mind. And I'm like, okay, well, this is that girl. And then Wesley Snipes starts to do undercover shit because he gets fired or, suspended technically from the police force. And he goes undercover at this place and immediately blows this cover and is like, all right, here, I'm going to tell you, lady, because I have a picture of you and the hijacker who was caught with a scar in his face. And I'm like, is that not the same exact fucking woman? Why is she there? What's going on? And then I realized at some point it's supposed to be two separate women. And they look, obviously Yancey is way more attractive than the second lady who works for the terrorists, but could not fucking tell you the difference in the movie at first. What's her name? Yancey Butler. But they look so much alike. And I was like, oh, that's her. Okay, and they have a picture together. So I'm like, all right, well, that's her. She's undercover. I'm like, running off old memories because I haven't seen this movie since we did it last, and I'm like, all right, it's been 9 years. I'm talking about how Yancey Butler and the girl who works for. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, how Yancey Butler and the girl who's working for Busey.
Yes.
Who's
Look
dating
exactly
Jagger
the same.
now look exactly the fucking same. Only Yancey Butler's obviously more attractive. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Yancey Butler has no body. This girl had boobs at least.
No, but she's also fake shit ruins it for
Yancey
me.
Butler.
No, Yancey Butler I do like. She's got the throaty voice. I like that. There's a point where she gets captured, and I remember being 10 in this movie when I saw it, and she does like, and her voice cracks, and I was like, like I remember that moment. Oh, I'm being
okay.
Yeah,
that's a great sexual awakening for you.
It's a great sexual awakening story. I realize
for Yancey Butler, who hasn't done anything since Drop Zone.
No, I don't. I can't name a single other project she's in.
I think she did some TV show. She's probably in a lot of like those Mutant X shows, like those '90s TV shows.
She married.
She must have married a producer.
Yeah,
got a lot of money and just called it a day.
What Cajun movie did we just do that said a Peters production?
Oh, that was
one of
Money
these?
Train.
Money
Train was John Peters.
Yeah, I'm glad I brought that up because it's relevant.
Yeah. Another bomb from
I remember
John
seeing
Peters.
The gates of the Peters movie, and it I'm like, oh fuck you! I want a giant spider.
No one likes John Peters. I love when Christopher Nolan said, "Keep him off the set. We don't want him here for Superman." He was just like, "Nope, keep John Peters out of here." But but the funny thing about Yancey Butler, that character was supposed to be a man.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. That's one scene 2 that was so stupid. Wesley Snipes never jumped out of a plane before. He goes up in the plane. She basically says, "Okay, well, fuck you." They fucking open a booby trap door. He falls out of the airplane with no parachute. He's not wearing a parachute.
They do a great scene where he's sitting there making fun of her, and she goes, "All right," and pulls the lever, and you get the Slim Pickens, from the bottom of the plane.
And it's like he's a cartoon character because there's a brief moment where he doesn't move. And it's like
green screen. You get the green screen effect.
The green screen in this movie is so bad.
No,
it is laughable. It's terrible.
Granted,
it's 94.
Completely disagree with you.
Oh, it's so bad.
I was watching this going, I could tell when it's green screen and when it's versus. I will say there's way more real parachute.
There is.
I think there would be with the movie. Because I have a list here of a couple other like skydiving movies. Terminal Velocity. You got Coleman Francis's The Skydivers.
Right, yes.
And then you have John Frankenheimer's Gypsy Moss. That's really it. That's all I can think of.
Wow.
But all three of those movies, terror skydiving effects. This one, I fucking bought it, man. Like there's some scenes that you can tell are obviously fake, but they really had the actors skydiving for most of them.
Well, back to Wesley Snipes falling out of the airplane without a parachute. Yancey Butler is like, okay, I'm gonna go save his life. What if she misses? What if she overshoots him and oh shit, I'm gonna murder this man's gonna get murdered on my watch because of a joke?
I would say he jumped. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him, but he jumped out.
Well, either way, it's murder on her hands.
That's not murder.
She doesn't care. It's murder. They dropped her from a plane.
The reality is murder, but the lie is not murder, is what I'm saying.
Of course, no body, no crime, but his body's all strung out in the bayou.
Like we were flying. I was explaining how he was working on a case. I thought he's a cop. I was describing
he says something about his brother needs to be avenged, and he jumped out of the plane. But and then with the joke, the whole point of that scene is for him to punch her in the face. But in the script, that was a man. That was the man's part originally. Yeah. And I guess Yancey Butler in the script, he punches the guy in the face. And Yancey Butler says, no, keep that in the movie. It's funny.
The funniest part of the movie.
And it's the funniest part of the movie because Wesley Snipes punches her in the face.
You lived.
fuck you, bitch.
So wet.
And he's running. He's walking to his car like he has something up his ass, and he's all fucked up. He's like, fuck you guys. I'm leaving this place. Fuck you. I'm Wesley Snipes. I can't take this anymore. Because it's like a goofy comedy. He's trying to figure out the murderers who find the murderers that killed his brother.
Here it is.
And it turns into this goofball comedy.
They just jumped out of she drops him out of the plane, and then the pilot is like, go get him. Oh, we should also mention that the mechanic for the plane, the pink plane, is Parker Lewis.
Yes.
Who we've discussed at length versus our LAW The Stand review. Go check that out. Another cross promotion.
Yep.
But we've talked about him a lot. He's great in this movie. He really is. He doesn't do a whole lot. He's in a few scenes, but he's really good in this. And I'm surprised he's not like continuously working. Maybe he is, but nothing I've ever seen.
Well, he's pretty. I mean, he's got to be an older gentleman now because this was
probably his 50s.
This was 30 years ago.
All right, here we go.
Here it is. This is.
Now, you fell. You lived.
That is something I quote to this day. To my kids, they fall.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's good life. Drop Zone. Great life lessons.
Yes. It is. This movie is Point Break for skydiving. It's the same.
Well, it's the same movie because Point Break had skydiving in it.
Yes.
Adios, amigo. And then Gary Busey's in both. And Gary Busey is the bad guy in this. And Gary Busey was 50 years old in this movie.
He looks.
So that tells you something. How old is he now? Because 94? So 50 years old, 93, because he shot 93. So he's
29 years
80.
ago.
He's 80 years old. Oh,
he's 79.
No, 79. He's got to be almost 80. That's crazy. That's crazy. And he's still around.
Yeah, 79.
79. That's nuts.
His son is considered elderly now.
Yeah. His son's got to be 50. Has to be 50.
His son qualifies for he's getting the AARP shit and qualifies for benefits for Social Security.
I got my Social Security check, Dad. That's great. I'm glad you got it, son.
These two men could make a fortune selling like their teeth enamel to less fortunate.
Absolutely.
Because I believe it entirely. Because on the hijack in the beginning, he bites off Michael's finger, and I'm like, yeah, his horse teeth could definitely bite off a finger. I believe that.
I've bit off lots of fingers. I've done that. I've done it many times.
I don't believe that was actually. I believe Michael actually had his finger bitten off, and
Michael Jeter lost a finger on that movie for real. Yeah, that fucker. He didn't care I had AIDS.
Michael Jeter's like, fuck it, throw in the movie if it works. But holy shit, he really bit my thumb off.
You got AIDS blood? I can taste it. I think Michael, you gotta go to the doctor.
This is like pennies, but with
this is
Abraham Lincoln and the penny had AIDS. You know what I mean?
This is before Michael Jeter knew. Gary Busey, you got AIDS. You gotta go to the doctor, Michael. I know AIDS when I taste it. This is AIDS.
Shit. Should I?
What?
All right. No, I did send you a picture of Jagger in this movie.
Right. Yes.
Luka Brkovic.
Right.
Italian guy.
Yes.
The cojones on this guy. He looks so different now.
Well, it's again 30 years ago.
I know, but I looked at him and I go, I don't even recognize him. Like,
wow.
Look at him. I couldn't point him out as Jagger in this movie, and I've seen this movie 10,000 times. Couldn't tell you this is Jagger from the movie. I would not recognize this guy right here.
No way.
But
that little girl would not know who that was.
Exactly. But I will say I did recognize someone from this movie because I watched Big Sky, which is not a good show. Do not watch Big Sky.
Yes.
Watch the first episode and check the fuck out. Ryan Phillippe gets killed.
Right. I'm out. I'm not doing that.
Rex Lynn is in this movie as Bobby. He's like the chunkier dude with the goatee, balding.
The bald. Hey, he's in CSI Miami.
He is.
Me too.
But he's in Big Sky. The most recent season is Buck.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
He's a really good actor.
He's a cliffhanger too. He's a cliffhanger too. He's a bad guy cliffhanger.
He is. He kind of replaces. Sorry, what?
He yelled at us. He yelled at us on the set of CSI Miami.
You were on the set of CSI Miami.
I was an extra in CSI Miami, and we were in an entourage that was shouting for this rapper, and he goes, "Could you guys put a little bit more effort into that?" And so we just did it again, like over the top, like stupidly. And I looked at him. Is that better? Like in a way of saying, like, "Oh, is that better for you, bald man? Go fuck yourself. Go suck David Caruso's dick." And then David Caruso shut up for his 2 minutes of fucking film time and left. But I remember
the John Carroll Lynch of this.
Yes, John Carroll Lynch was a good actor. He's a nice guy. This guy's an asshole. Yeah.
Him on Big Sky is kind of like replacing him because they got rid of John Carroll Lynch.
Yeah, well, because everybody.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, all the extras who were there who were like normal extras said, "Oh, that guy's an asshole." The bald guy. They all
really?
Say prick. Yeah, everybody didn't like him. They said he's an asshole.
Okay. I'm not gonna. I have no opinion one way or the other.
Yeah,
I'll believe it.
Yeah.
I think he was more than I believe him, but
he was probably mad because he had to work with David Caruso, who was probably an asshole. And he didn't want to.
Yeah, you got to think when you do that shit, there's reasons they're acting that way because if they're not a main star, there's reasons they're acting that way.
He's getting paid decent money for a show that he probably doesn't like because he wanted to be a real actor. But this was like a TV show in its prime, so he's probably making $150,000 an episode. So it's pretty good money. So good for him. But at the same time, he's probably like, God damn it. Wish I was doing movies. This fucking TV shit blows. I was in Drop Zone, god damn it.
Drop fucking Zone.
I wasn't in Money Train. I was in Drop Zone.
No, he's really good in he's the only like redeeming quality.
No, he's a good actor. Yeah.
His character in Big Sky is married to Reba McEntire, who was just a fucking like plastic nightmare.
Wow.
He's like, I'm so scared right now.
Ooh.
I'm like, you are?
Even after fighting Tremors?
Can you? Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, you're scared? I'm glad you said that because I can't tell.
Yeah, good thing
your face is stuck in a plastic nightmare that scares the shit out of me. It's like a Picasso painting up here.
Your dialogue allows me to understand your emotions. I'm glad they wrote that in the script.
You have to write that specifically for her because she cannot emote.
I feel so happy right now, yet I'm fearful.
If you watch it, I know you're not going to, but if you're a fan of Big Sky, if you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. She literally goes, I don't trust you. I don't know what to feel. I guess I'm scared.
I love you.
They literally write lines around her frozen nightmare of a face.
Oh my God.
It is so it was the most amusing part of the season for me because I was like, that's why she said that. Because you could not tell by looking at her. Well,
okay, so the plot of Drop Zone is pretty much okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Gary Busey was a former DEA agent.
Yes, they don't spend enough time on that.
They don't because it's like, okay, well, if he had access, because he has access to all this information already, why doesn't he just get it and have it already and just give it to the drug lords and sell it to them after he was retired? Why does he need to parachute into the roof to do these? All he's doing is stealing information.
Undercover agents for the DEA.
Yeah. That's it.
FBI.
That's all he's doing. Yeah.
All he's doing, he's charging 20 million a month or 2 million a month?
2 million
a month.
2 million a month, but that's like a
$24 million a year.
You got them all because you get them all from the database on that drop in DC.
But he's parsing it out. So I get why he would do it the way he's doing, but I love the fact that he goes to prove how much it's how valuable it is. I'll do it once for free.
I'll do it once for free.
They do it. As soon as they introduce the villain's plot, which is the skydive in the security buildings and steal the data, they do a nice setup there with Michael Jeter, but they're like rush, and they're trying to rush him.
Oh yeah,
he's like, I'm scared.
I can't do this.
There is taking its time. As soon as they actually start the actual movie villain's plan and doing it, it's in fast forward mode. Yeah. They never stop long enough for you to focus on what the fuck's happening.
Right.
It has like a Die Hard ending where they're in a building.
Right.
During the big celebration there in Washington, D.C., during their 4th of July.
Well, it's all the Drop Zone people.
Yes.
All the parachuters in the world parachute over D.C. that night.
And it really turns into Die Hard because it's Wesley Snipes. It's lazy Die Hard.
It's lazy.
Wesley Snipes shows up and he's
Wesley Snipes
around.
Wesley Snipes only kills Gary Busey. That's it. Now everyone else gets killed by somebody else.
I think Busey or Wesley Snipes also kills that guy that they drop through the elevator.
Yeah, he breaks his neck a la
Yeah,
Die
that's
Hard.
it.
It's the same Die Hard
It's
death.
fucking that's what I said. It's Die
Yeah,
Hard.
it's lazy Die
Shitty
Hard.
Die Hard.
The
I
exact same
will
thing
admit
happens,
this is the weakest part of the movie. Luckily, it's so short because they fast
because
forward.
it's the end of the movie.
They cannot wait to get through this rest of this movie.
Yeah.
And luckily, it doesn't really matter because the best parts of the movie are Wesley Snipes punching women,
Yes.
interacting with fighting people in the toilet.
Yes.
He's in a like weird
That's
little
right.
outhouse
Yeah, it's
thing
nice.
when he's
Little-
punching
yeah.
people.
A little bit of action. It's not a lot of action in this movie, but when it hits, it counts.
Yeah, it's got the William Sadler look-alike from Die Hard 2.
It does, yeah.
It has the Mexican dude. He's in 1,000 things. Whatever his name is. He's the first guy to die. He's the guy that dies in the elevator and is just sitting there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy from Home Improvement who just died like 5
Right.
6
Yeah.
years ago.
I forgot he's the truck driver.
He's
He's
the
the
truck
guy
driver.
picking him up. So okay, that's the
Gary Busey kills him.
So do you have that? I sent that video to you. Do you want to put that on there?
I don't have it.
Busey's death.
I can show it here in the movie if you want to go ahead and cover me for a few seconds.
Yeah. So okay, the problem with this movie is Gary Busey dies pretty ridiculously, and it's kind of anticlimactic, but also it's on par with Yaphet Kotto's death in Live and Let Die. It's almost it's like the sequel to that death because it's so terribly done. And he kills the other guy. He kills the guy from Home Improvement driving the truck. I don't know how he does it. He changes the laws of physics, but he does
goes straight down, but somehow when you put to the Home Improvement guy's view from the truck, he's about to be the only guy that lives through the movie. He goes, here goes.
Here it is.
I won't play any audio.
Look at that nice dummy.
Die Hard. Look at this. This is Die Hard with a parachute.
But Die Hard, we had a real guy
Alan
fall.
Rickman is falling from the building.
This is a dummy. That's a bad green screen.
That is okay.
Bad.
That is why I say the difference between green screen. This is terrible.
This is bad.
But when they're actually shooting it, and then you see like Jagger, and he's like, "Stop it!" That looks really good. It looks great.
Well, because it's against green, it's against blue sky.
Yeah, this is
it. Watch what? How did that happen?
He clearly misses him right here.
Yeah,
Home Improvement guy's right here. This guy, Gary Busey's right here. Why are we constantly talking about Gary Busey's death in his body? Because in Predator 2, he gets cut in half and his top half never falls.
Yeah,
what the fuck happens with Gary Busey?
He defies physics in every movie he dies in.
My top note on my screen here is I wrote down HID, so Hollywood is Dead notes. What happened to Gary Busey's top half in Predator 2?
Right, exactly.
What happens here?
Yeah.
We need to move through this so we can get the money train.
We'll talk about that.
He clearly misses him in every shot here.
Yeah.
And then it cuts and they're both dead.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. And then the worst part is the parachutist is 40 stories high, and Michael Jeter and Wesley Snipes are on the bottom floor or on the grass. And Michael Jeter's trying to get away, and Wesley Snipes going, "No, stop him!"
Derek Jeter's in this.
Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter gets hit. The guy with the parachute jumps off the roof. Then he comes down the parachute and he lands on Michael Jeter. How does he see that from 30 stories up in the air? That makes no sense.
They're talking about
the guy with the other guy
name 10,000 times,
and they say it a bunch of times.
It's like Rufio from Hook.
Yeah, something stupid. And, yeah.
I do love the fact that he will not talk to you unless he's jumped with you.
Right. Yeah.
Fun. There's a lot of fun little quirks in this movie that I really do enjoy. That's what makes the movie to me.
The parachutist world, the underworld of the parachutists.
It's like a deep dive that movies that take parachuting more seriously do not address ever. This movie is actually more serious of a parachuting movie as far as aspects of a parachuter's life.
Yeah.
Than serious movies that really tackle parachuting. This one's like you will not talk to you.
I can't name one about parachuting.
Oh, Gypsy Moss is my main one, but that movie's so fucking cheesy and cheap.
Is that an MST3K movie though?
No, that's the Skydivers. That's the Francis Coleman movie.
Francis Coleman. Coleman Francis, no.
Yeah, that's that cheap ass.
Red Zone Cuba.
Yeah, that
Red Zone
fucking guy.
Cuba, Coleman Francis, no.
Beast Yucca Flats, that guy.
He's great.
But this actually takes it serious, and they give them enough quirks. Every character you have enough time with. It's literally like the bare minimum.
Right.
This movie I would describe as bare minimum to explain every character, and then it moves the fuck on.
Right.
You know exactly what this guy wants, what he needs, how he's like, and then it moves on. Doesn't spend any more time. Like when they introduce that character, he's like, "Hey, I'll help you guys. Didn't get paid, okay?" And he's like, "Can you help me out?" And then he falls off the building and he skydives. That's his prize. Swoop is his name.
Swoop, yeah. Get him, Swoop. That's right, Swoop. Yeah.
Swoop tackles, as you said, Derek Jeter at the end. And knocks him the fuck out, and he's like,
yeah.
And he comes over, and I love the fact that they follow up with this character because he's like, hey Pete, can you tell him I broke my leg? I need assistance.
Yeah,
because it matches his character. It's great. A little joke there at the end.
Yeah.
The movie follows through,
and then you have.
We need to move on, don't we?
Then you have Money Train.
Money Train.
Again,
95, a year later.
Money Train, a movie that feels like 4 different scripts in one movie. You have the brothers played by Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes, basically doing their part 2 to White Man Can't Jump. Yes. It's that regroup. I hope they do another movie together. Actually, now,
but I will say this:
be better.
I will watch 1,000 movies with them together.
Oh yeah, they're good. They got good
they're
chemistry.
Both fascinating to me.
I want them to be. They should do another one. They've never done another one. I don't think there's no trilogy.
I wish Larry Flint had a black dude in his life that Wesley Snipes could have played. And people,
I love you. Theo,
yeah, he could.
Come here.
If they replaced Courtney Love with Wesley Snipes and did the exact same movie, I would have liked it more.
They would have won every Oscar and been $150 million hit.
He's not constantly showing his gross tits. He's just showing his weird black ass. And I'm like, yeah, there we go.
He's showing his wonderfully cut black body.
His amazing body.
His amazing cut body, like blade body.
He has a number of shirtless scenes, including after he's trying to box his sexual aggression for J-Lo out of the way.
Both movies feature him punching women.
They do.
Both movies.
This one was not as earned, but it made more sense when you watch it. If I can make sense there.
Wouldn't you punch J-Lo in the jaw with your boxing gloves?
I've punched every single dancer from In Living Color except J-Lo.
She was too good. She's too big of a star.
She's evasive.
Can't do it.
She was a fly girl. She was a fly girl. That's
what you're doing.
We're of the age where we know J-Lo as a fly girl.
Yes.
So it's weird to see her transition in the movies because I'm like, you were behind Marlon Wayans or Sean Wayans doing. Here's our transition to commercial, and I'm like, that's why I know J-Lo as. And then I'm seeing her.
You introduced a Jim Carrey sketch once.
Yeah, you were Fire Marshal Bill's introduction.
James Carrey's here.
Yeah, so watching her as an established actor at this time, I'm not talking about now. She is what she is at this point. I don't care about that, but at that time, I was like, I knew who she was in 1995. I'm like, that's fucking J-Lo. She was a fly dancer.
Yeah.
I thought she still was because I didn't know In Living Color got canceled by then.
Right.
You don't have anything to look it up why. I didn't have the internet yet.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's her. Okay. Because at a certain point in Living Color, they started to move her to the forefront.
Yeah.
And it happened real quick. It happened like between a year, that season, she just started moving up to the front. And I watched that show all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
So I don't particularly love J-Lo. I do think she is very, very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But in this movie, I'm like, there's certain shots she has where I'm like, oh, she's cute. But I'm like, as an adult, I don't particularly like J-Lo that much.
Right.
You sound like you're way more dismissive of her the way we were talking earlier.
I am. I don't have any really opinion on her. Yeah. She's very attractive for an older woman. Now she's in her 50s. She looks good. She looks good.
Fantastic.
She looks good.
Yeah. For a 50-something-year-old.
Don't be dismissive of J-Lo.
Yeah. Honestly, yes.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, she's a very, very beautiful woman. Yeah, absolutely. You know who didn't age well? Catherine Zeta-Jones
Or
Yancey Butler.
Bridget Fonda.
Oh,
Yeah. They're the same age. Those two women are the same age.
Yeah, but Bridget Fonda was in a bad car accident that fucked up her.
Yes,
her.
I'm just saying.
Her fucking growth plate in her body.
And that's why I said I don't want to make fun of any actor.
No, yeah, really sad. Really sad.
It's pointless to discuss someone's looks after the age of after their 30s.
Yeah.
Like
No,
they're gonna fall apart. But J-Lo, goddamn, she looks.
Yeah, she looks good. She's good.
Kind of looks better, honestly.
And now she's with Ben Affleck again.
She's done that. She's like a meme herself. She's like Pete Davidson, the woman. Just fucked everybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, her. Good,
yeah,
you can, but
yeah.
Anyway,
but Chris Cooper shows up
in 3 scenes.
And he's the torch.
Is it just 2 scenes? I think it's
just two.
Yeah.
Like, this movie really doesn't have a plot. There's no plot. This movie is basically Woody Harrelson's a fuck up. He owes money to gamblers, to mafia, which again, that's resolved when Wesley Snipes comes and beats the shit out of him and basically says, "You come after me again, I'm going to kill you." Because
that is just before the money.
He robs the money train. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Going off what you just said, I watched this movie not as much as Drop Zone, so I would say 10 to 12 times, enough to like. I know that movie. I know this movie. I forgot everything involving the money train.
Exactly, because it's like a plot point 25, because like it doesn't really enter the movie until the third act.
I remember everything in the first hour 10.
Robert Blake.
I remember them at the bar. I remember them dancing and him fucking her, because I sure as shit jerked off to this movie several times.
Well, you know the funny thing about Robert Blake, his last movie was 2 years later with Lost Highway. Call me.
I remember him stealing the train, like all of that stuff. But the actual money train aspect and getting away with the actual plot of the movie, like a distant memory. I was like, oh, do I like shut this movie off after the first hour 10 or what's going on?
Yeah. Because Woody Harrelson
not familiar.
Woody Harrelson gets $15,000. Wesley Snipes gives him $15,000 cash to pay off the debt.
Robbed by an old lady.
And he gets robbed by an old lady, which was great on the train. And for him being a transit
which
cop,
they set up.
I think Yeah, they do. It's funny. It's a nice step and payoff.
They set that up in my favorite quote from this movie, which is Bob from Walking Dead. He's also on The Wire. But he has a quote in the movie that I love. It's my favorite scene where he goes, "Wallets first, then rings and watches." They're sticking them up, the two brothers, and they start arguing.
Right. Yeah.
But I love the wallets first and rings and watches. I still think of that to this day. But the rest of the movie is kind of a blur.
Well, that makes sense because it is a blur. There's not much. This movie is not memorable at all. And by the way, it takes place. The May Train robbery is on New Year's Eve. There's nobody in Times Square, by the way. They go to Times Square. It's supposed to be filled with people. I guess they got there 10 hours before the ball drops because there's like 250 extras there, and that's it.
Times Square is like, I'd say 125,000.
Oh, more than that. Absolutely.
I'm just giving a loose estimate.
Yeah.
At least. But yes.
Like
it
COVID.
Is very, very underfunded.
I guess this was the COVID year that they robbed the money train.
But luckily, they kept the camera low enough during those scenes that you don't really think about it too much.
And what cracks me up also is they had enough cops to go down to stop the money train that should be out enforcing the street laws during New Year's Eve.
Chaos upstairs.
There's no way there'd be 100 cops or 50 cops shooting the money train as it's going down the money train. And there wouldn't be anybody on the subway because they'd be all at Times Square.
Yeah.
There would be no subway running.
Yes. The cops would be like, we're not doing that. So he'd have his own private security. He'd have to hire an outside firm.
And by the way, the private security is all character actors.
Yes. It's
Hank Grant Norris from Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the guy from from Kill Chain and Just Shoot Me's in there.
Yes.
He shows up.
Bald dude. Yes.
That's amazing. I was like, oh my God.
No,
Why is there so
it
many
is full of character
actors?
actors, and they're only in that one scene because
That's
later when
it.
they actually rob them, they're not there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the Money Train security team all gets off. What an easy train to rob. They all get off the Money Train. Nobody stays on the Money Train except the driver. And then Woody Harrelson comes in and kicks the driver out, and he takes off with the Money Train. It's the easiest thing to steal.
Yes.
It is so
all he does.
I don't even know what the Money Train is.
He's below the train. He goes and ducks down. The driver doesn't see him. The whatever you call that.
Right.
The what's it called? Conductor of the train does not see him.
No.
You know they're going half a mile an hour at that point.
And he's welding the screws off. Yeah.
Comes up and goes,
bah,
throw you off the train.
Yeah.
As the fucking train.
Yeah.
In like 14 seconds. The movie
literally
is in speed. It's in fast forward mode then. It's like
Once
you get to the actual plot of the movie, fast forward.
Do you need 10 cops to get the tokens from the subway stall? Like literally there's 10 guys on the Money Train. They go and get a bag of quarters to go put in the pile with the Money Train. What is the Money Train is just the money from the subway? Is that what it is? It's the subway money?
It's they try very loosely. This is my first time catching this detail. Because they try so desperately. I just changed my hat because I want to color coordinate for our shows. So this is our blue. Anyway, they try very loosely to tie in the two storylines, but they do not succeed.
No.
You got the Money Train, which is collecting money from the toll booth at the train station. It does that every single stop, and then it rolls in and pays Blake.
Right.
That's it. That's the Money Train.
Why does it pay Blake? Why would he get the money?
We'll get to that in a second.
I don't remember why.
The second storyline is because of that Chris Cooper is robbing them. So you think Blake at some point, Robert Blake, would mention the fire guy who keeps killing our guys and taking our money.
Right.
He never, ever says anything about them.
So how does...
why? Probably added after.
Right, yeah.
That's my theory.
This is 4 different scripts in one movie.
It's probably added afterwards to add some more excitement.
Right. I think it was, absolutely.
It explains everything.
Yeah, because they had nothing. If you don't have the torch, there's no action. There's not even a fight scene.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they added that so they can have J-Lo going, hey, stop trying to rape my man, sister of John Turturro.
Yeah.
Sopranos.
Yeah.
You got J-Lo doing terrible drunk acting. She's fucking there.
She was bad. That was bad drunk acting. I was like, oh God, she's real bad there. It was like, ooh, embarrassing. But
I forgot where we originally started here.
Robert Blake with the money. Well, how is there $500,000 in one bag?
It's every single train stop during that course.
Okay.
My problem with the movie is the movie starts with the undercover sting. They're doing like 7 NYPD officers deep to get one pickpocket.
Right. Yeah. They shoot.
It is not worth the effort.
Yeah, exactly.
They chase him down. They're running through the tunnel. It's not worth it. They get caught by the Money Train and they have to move up to the side. They never catch the guy.
No, the Money Train kills them.
Oh, sorry, that's what it is.
Yeah, they shoot him.
And then it's Wesley Snipes. And then it's Woody Harrelson because they're brothers.
He's just a kid. Yeah.
Sitting in front of Robert Blake. And this is me watching this as an adult for the first time. I've not seen this movie since 1996, 7.
It's my train. Don't fuck with it.
It cuts to Robert Blake and he's like, you made my train 17 minutes late.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with my train. You fuck with my train, I fuck with you. And I'm like, who's this guy? Just a train guy? Why is he going with them?
How are you brothers? You are white. Yeah. You are a Negro.
Yes. He's saying the most racist shit ever.
It's so funny.
He even carries it over to J-Lo. Rodriguez
or Santiago.
Santiago.
Detective Santiago. Officer Santiago.
And then you get to come up and it's Officer Santiago.
When he goes, I'm not going to hit him. You're going to hit him. We're both going to hit him. They do that joke.
That
They do that
trilogy
3
of
times.
jokes.
Yeah, that's a 3-peater.
Comedy comes in 3.
Yep.
Yeah. Although the third time is the least funny.
Yeah.
We're both gonna hit him. Fucking.
So there's no cameras on the Money Train apparently.
That was 1995.
That would have. They had cameras in '95.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they would have
95.
still.
No CCTV.
Yeah, no CCTV.
Nothing.
And
Woody Harrelson's like immediately like throw the guy off. Ha ha.
I don't know how a subway or a subway system could accumulate millions of dollars on a train from tolls. There's no way. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what the Money Train is.
It's the whole city.
I know, but still. Okay, yes, but how much is each ride on a subway? Like $1 in 1995? What was the subway ticket cost? And that's if you didn't have a pass, like a dash pass thing, where you just scan it and go in. It's like you paid cash every time you went on the fucking subway. And now it's all cards; it's not cash at all.
Nowadays, they'd be like, "We have trillions of dollars worth of receipts on there for Visa and MasterCard."
For our audit that we have to have for the city. So the city has to have every fucking credit card stamp or else we're going to prison. Robert Blake doesn't get to keep any of the Money Train money because it's the city's money, not his. I collect every token I get from the subway. What?
Can you discuss this movie for like another 20 seconds?
Robert Blake is a character actor that killed his wife, who deserved it. She was an awful human being. She caused the deaths of Marlon Brando's son, Bonnie Lee Blake. I mean, he committed suicide, but more than likely she pushed him to it. And I guess she married Robert Blake. And Robert Blake was out of the acting game for about 15 years, maybe something like that. After Beretta, he went on to do. Like he did movies here and there. He's a good actor. He's just an oddball, and he's a murderer. But whatever. I mean, murdering in Hollywood is synonymous. Alec Baldwin's a murderer. O.J. Simpson's a murderer. Matthew Broderick's a murderer. And this is all proven in courts of law and lawsuits and civil suits and everything. So I mean, it's not like it's not true. But you have Robert Blake playing this very oddball character who is almost the same character from Lost Highway. And Lost Highway is his last movie, his last credited movie, because he ended up shooting his wife in a restaurant to go get it. He told his wife, I got to go get my gun out of the car. Stay here. Or he went into the restaurant to get his gun from the table because he left his gun in the restaurant with the spaghetti, and the two guys came out and shot her to death in the front seat of her car. I mean, granted, she was probably an awful woman. I mean, allegedly, she was an awful woman. Didn't deserve to get shot. I don't know, maybe. Who cares? But anyways, moving on. Woody Harrelson steals the money from the Money Train in a hilarious reveal at the end when they escape the Money Train. And Wesley Snipes unzips his coat.
I thought you would still be talking about Robert Blake and his murder.
I did. I talked all about that. I made my case. I talked about
that before I left. I was like, that's all I can talk about.
Murder is synonymous in Hollywood because I named a bunch of Hollywood murderers. Matthew Broderick, Alec Baldwin, John Landis. Forgot about him.
That was my next name.
John Landis is a big one.
Not directly a murderer, but
the guy that shot Brandon Lee accidentally.
He's still fucked up from that.
He's dead. He just died. He died not too long ago. He passed away. That poor guy, like he was, that fucked him up. It wasn't his fault. It's not.
Was that Wilcott or was that the other guy?
No, it was the other guy. Wincott is. I like Wincott a lot. He's a good actor, but he's also a pretty good dude. He talks about acting and like he came from a kind of a humble background, and he's like he doesn't care about money. He's just about the acting. Like he likes to do roles for parts. Like he doesn't care what part it is. He'll just take it if it's interesting. Yeah. I like Michael Wincott a lot. He looks old though. He does. He's aged.
He can't get away with long hair anymore.
He looks like he took 30 hours of pain. I have something to give you. 30 hours of pain. I don't want it anymore. Oh,
Enjoyed the Beauty and the Beast ending. Oh, that's all I think when I watch The Crow. I'm like Beauty and the Beast.
yeah. Well,
Same fucking year.
Same year, right? Yeah. They stole it from Alex Proyas.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah.
it's just funny that only in Beauty and the Beast you get the skull in his eye.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, Gaston, you got the same ending as that guy, the bad guy from The Crow.
Top dollar from the Crow and Gaston.
Yeah. All right,
Jesus.
sorry.
No, that's not. And I was getting to the point where Wesley Snipes at the end fills his chest, Woody Harrelson's chest, and he's got 2 bags of $500,000 cash in his coat, and he starts yelling at him. He goes, "What? What?" And they yell all the way through the credits. And then that's
I
the
have
end
a
of the
question. Why? They've already, quote, kidnapped the train at a certain point.
movie. Yeah.
Wesley Snipes jumps on board because J-Lo convinces him that's your brother. You need to save him. For the 10,000th time, you need to save your brother.
Right.
It's the one time he's like, no, I'm not doing it. Because he gets
Right.
delivered a train on Christmas.
Yes.
And he goes, all right.
Train,
Oh, you don't see it, but it's off screen.
Yep.
And he shows up in the train. I'm like, oh, I guess he's here now. Somehow.
He jumped on it when no one was looking.
Yes, but
He Snipes.
why does Wesley Snipes, at that point, when they realize we've already taken the train, we're about to kill the train in front of us because Robert Blake has decided, much like my wife, let's ram this into her and kill her. They decide to hit the train in front of them.
Yes.
And then Wesley Snipes says, you got Woody Harrelson back there, like stuffing, like grabbing money. He's like, no, we're not taking the money. I was like, but why? Otherwise, this is entirely pointless.
What would be the point? Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Otherwise, like, what? If you're not going to take the money, you're going to get caught and prosecuted no matter what. You might as well risk it for the money and just grab everything you can.
No.
I fucking grab like the steering wheel of the train. I'm taking fucking everything that's not stapled down.
If you can get it out in time.
Exactly.
And then you have the wonderful genius idea of putting a big piece of metal out of the train to hit the back brake. So it flips over, and that's how they get out.
Goes, autopilot. And then
sure.
Even though they're hitting the train in front of them every 12 and a half seconds.
Exactly. Yes.
When he stuffs that thing there, they have like 3 minutes.
Yeah, they got plenty of time to get off and to have suspenseful moments where they almost fall off, and they don't fall off, they almost fall off, they don't fall off.
But I do like that scene.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like shitty speed.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's shitty speed, all right.
Shitty speed.
Yeah.
I do have some lists here, if I could.
Please.
My wife is home. From the 90s. I have some similar type of movie. I have 2 lists. Some similar like action movies with like weird premises.
Yes.
Face Off.
That's 97. Yes.
I'm not going off the same years.
Okay.
The 90s.
90s.
On Air.
97. No.
Broken Arrow, 96.
96.
Last Boy Scout, I think that's 93.
Yeah.
Sudden Death, I think that's
94.
94.
94.
Glimmerman, 96.
96. Yep.
Under Siege 2, 95.
Beautiful movie.
Bad Boys, 95.
Yep.
Speed, 94.
Yep.
It's going off memory there for all these years.
Yep. Yep.
Those are all like similar action movies with like the high stakes premise that these do.
Well, it's basically Die Hard on anything.
Yes.
I think that's always the pitch. Die Hard on a boat, Under Siege. Die Hard on a bus, Speed. Die Hard
only
in a
no, go ahead. Sorry.
Die Hard with parachutes.
I just wish these 2 guys did more movies together. I love their chemistry together. They
gotta do.
Woody Harrelson's a piece of shit in both movies, although he's not a big a piece of shit as Wesley is in
White Man Can't Jump.
White Man Can't Jump.
Right.
Like, but that's something you find out after. He's just he's a gambling loser, and it's the same in both movies. But I love their chemistry together. I find them. Yeah. I really wish they would have stuck around and kept doing movies together because they just work together. They just do. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, I think the problem was White Man Can't Jump was a hit, and this just was not a hit. This was a big bomb.
Even though it's had the bigger budget, and they're like, "Oh, this is White Man Can't Jump on a train."
On a train?
And it just, it's a nice effort, but you're kind of like, "Oh, yeah, I see what you're going for, but no."
Yeah, they failed.
So sorry.
That's pretty bad.
The other list I have is train movies that I could think of.
Please.
Modern train movies. Unstoppable.
Okay.
Not that great.
Nope.
Under Siege 2, fucking incredible.
Masterpiece.
One of my favorite bad movies.
Yes, absolutely.
Under Siege 2.
Casey
Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Of course,
Yeah.
the remake.
Yeah.
And then my favorite on the list, which is Speed. I can't.
Yeah.
That. I think Speed is a genuinely great movie.
Speed is a good movie. It really is. But what a bygone era.
Airport.
Yeah. What a bygone era for movies, because action movies now aren't like that anymore. They're just not. None of these action movies even come close to these movies of the 90s. They just don't. You know why? Because Hollywood is dead. And I'm going to hit the outro for that.
No, we need to do our verses. Which movie wins?
Oh, Drop Zone.
Drop Zone.
100%. 100% Drop Zone. Are you fucking nuts? Money Train makes no fucking sense. Joke. Yeah.
Money Train is fun. I do like. Scores.
Oh, I would say.
I give Money Train a 6. I give Drop Zone a 7.
I would agree.
All right, play the outro.
I would agree on that.
I'll play it.
We hit about the same time.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night.
Time.